Hannah,
Yes.
do you know what a smoked shotgun shell is?
Actually, I do know what a smoked shotgun shell is.
I just learned about the existence of these things over the weekend.
They're wonderful.
Okay. So since you know, for everyone in the audience who does not know what I'm talking about, a smoked shotgun shell is it's you take ground beef, Italian sausage, and cheese, mix it up, and stuff it in manicotti shells, wrap it in bacon, and then smoke it.
Mhm. Now I'm hungry. Oh, what have you done?
I don't have a huge amount to add to that. It's just something that I discovered existed over the weekend.
They're wonderful. I don't know, it's been a while since I've made them, but they're really, really good. Because you just pull out, like, you put them in a dish, you pull, like, 2 or 3, and you just go to town on it. It's really, really good.
Oh, they look so good. I need to make some of that for myself.
Then you usually pull them out, cover them in barbecue sauce, or really whatever sauce you want. You serve them alongside, like, french fries or, just something fun. It's American food.
Oh, it definitely is an American food. I can feel my arteries clogging just by looking at the pictures of it.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video a little while ago on them, and I was like, "I have to make these," and I just never got around to doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you see you see someone making it on YouTube and you think I'm going to make that. That looks simple, and then you never do.
One of the things that I did make was, um, burger bombs, I think they were called. It was basically just a giant meatball, stuffed with onions and then wrapped in
Okay,
bacon.
burger bomb.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but I forget what the actual name of it was, but I made it on Twitch one time and it was a really big hit.
Okay, is it
Yeah.
a meatball or is do you like eat it like a burger?
It's like you eat it like a meatball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're wrapped in bacon, covered in barbecue sauce, stuffed with onions. I also made the same day I made s'mores cupcakes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a good day.
I think the I have made a few times tiramisu cookies.
Ooh, I love tiramisu.
Hmm.
Your girl loves food. What can I say?
So do I. Okay, let's get the music started.
All right.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily deranged. I can't be settled in bed. Or have you picked your target yet? Listen, babe. Does your dog bite? Listen, babe.
Oh boy, it is that time of the week again. It is Sunday, and you are listening to Online for Maintenance, theoretically the official podcast of MMOFallout.com. I'm Connor,
I'm Hannah.
and you are listening to episode number 14, Skirting Regulations. You can check out this podcast on patreon.com/MMOFallout and join the Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Support all of the garbage that we do here. I'm watching. Since this is an audio podcast, I feel like I have to break the barrier and point out that Hannah is just dying of laughter right now.
I'm trying to hold back so I don't ruin the show.
Oh, you can laugh as much as you want.
I
I, I
get why.
I did not think that the title would break you that much.
How could it not?
To give context for it, because it has actually nothing to do with what we're talking about in the show today. I am currently recording while wearing thigh-high socks and a skirt, which if you follow me on Blue Sky, you would already know because I've posted several photos.
You look gorgeous, babe.
Oh, I feel gorgeous.
You should.
But we got some video games and some news to talk about. So let's start off with what have you been up to this week?
So I've actually been playing a lot of Minecraft lately.
Ooh,
Yeah, a friend of mine invited me to her server, and it's been a lot of fun. The new development is I am playing Bedrock.
oh boy.
Uh, yeah, it's a different Minecraft experience entirely. I believe it, it's Minecraft, obviously, and they're trying to maintain parity between the two versions. So there is, you know, it's not completely foreign, but the thing that the thing that I've noticed a lot is Redstone works completely differently. And so a lot of the stuff that I've learned doing Redstone logic doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You have to build things entirely different ways. Like if you made a 2x2 piston door, you can't power the whole thing from the top. There's no such thing as quasi connectivity. There's some weird ways that Redstone works in Java versus in Bedrock, and like it basically doesn't work weird in Bedrock. Um, so in Java, you have a little bit extra functionality with it. So your machines look different. Your machines are built different. In this, I couldn't really make a piston door yet. I'll have to look up some tutorials on how to do it. But I made an item filter, an item sorter, and it worked just fine. So there are things that work like normally. Um, Other couple little things, and I know now why they refer to it colloquially as as Bug Rock Edition. I've just had items just disappear on me, and I mean just gone, and like not like I like accidentally put it. I dropped it onto the ground, and it fell through the floor or something. Like I use seeds. I renamed seeds to be for my item filter, and I had a full stack of 64 seeds. I have 5 different item filter things and 4 per seed, or 4 per each one. So I would have used 20 seeds. That means I would have had 44 seeds left. I only have 43. And I've looked for that last seed of where it went. I cannot find it. So me placing seeds into the hoppers for the item filter caused one to just vanish. And I can't explain this. I know about other things. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. I've seen a lot of Reddit videos on like people will just like go into the Nether for the first time and then just die. And like there's now a hardcore version of Bedrock. So like if you do that and just die, your save's gone. So yeah, it's really fun though. I like that there's emotes in the game. Like there's extra stuff that's not in Java. Like, you can the character creator's a lot bigger, like you can do a lot more things. There's a lot more options in that regard. There is a shop. There is the dreaded real world money shop. I haven't spent any money on it. I don't plan on spending any money on it because I really don't want to play Bedrock that much. This has really been my first experience with it. But I'm having fun. I built a house into a ravine cave, and it's the first time I've ever done that, and I'm still working on it. I've got a like the forefront of it done. I've got the face of the house done. I don't have any interior done yet, and then I have a staircase going up to another level, which I haven't worked on at all. But it's fun. Her server's got hundreds of hours into it, and it's a lot of fun. There's 3 people playing on it. There's her, and then there's 2 other guys, and then like it's really good so far. It's a nice little community.
That's good. What
Uh,
are there any major differences outside of Redstone between the Bedrock and the Java edition?
There are a couple of that might be modded in. I'm not really sure, but there's a couple of um decorative items. Like I found stones just on the ground as a decorative item. They weren't like stone like the block. It was just like cobblestones that you would place onto another onto another block. They look really good. I'm not sure if those are part of the game or again a part of a mod. Um, there are some other plants and stuff in the same like fashion where like there's a particular grass. There's actually two grasses. One of them's glowing, and then another one that if you just hit it with a sword, it doesn't just disappear. It actually like drops, and then you can pick that up and then put that wherever you want.
Did you play the Minecraft movie Minecraft Experience with
There's
Jack
a,
Black and Jason Momoa?
I did not know there was a Minecraft movie, Minecraft Experience.
There was.
Oh, I did not know that. Yeah.
I did not play it because I don't have Minecraft installed.
Oh, okay. Get Minecraft installed. It's the greatest game ever.
I should eventually go back to that. I have bad memories with Minecraft,
Oh, what happened?
specifically to do with MMO Fallout.
What happened?
Because I used to cover Minecraft a lot back in like 2010, 2011, and every time I did, I would get inundated with emails and comments from people who thought that I was Mojang customer support. So like I would get moms complaining to me about how like someone was swearing on a server that their kid was on, or their kid got banned from a server and they wanted to get them unbanned. Or this was back when before Microsoft bought Minecraft. I don't know if you remember, it used to be very difficult to actually buy Minecraft because your credit card had to you had to get your credit card company to recognize a purchase from Sweden, right?
Yeah.
That's where Notch is. So
Yeah.
like if your card was blocking out of country transactions, you couldn't buy Minecraft. I think I had to go through like 3 different cards to finally buy it when I bought it. So I used to get emails all the time from people who were like, "You're blocking my purchase. I'm trying to get my kid Minecraft." And I had every time I had to be like, I'm not Mojang customer support. So I eventually just stopped writing about Minecraft altogether because I just got so tired of getting angry moms emailing me.
See, that is not at all the experience I thought you were gonna say. It's like, oh, I thought you were like, oh yeah, no, I had a server and somebody blew it up or something, and you just didn't,
No.
or you couldn't figure out the game or whatever.
And then I learned I learned the downside of uh you know I bought Minecraft for myself, and I bought it for a friend of mine, and the friend decided that they didn't want it. So I had an extra key. So I gave it away on MMO Fallout. And after that, I got killed with emails from moms who were like calling me a piece of shit because they were emailing me asking for a copy of Minecraft. And when I told them I just had the one extra copy and it had already been given away, like I got so much abuse for that. People calling me a scam artist, even though I don't know what the scam would be. But yeah, that just colored my I mean, this was like 15 years ago, but
Yeah, that's literal insanity, though. Jesus Christ. Wow.
I did, speaking of things that happened like 13, 14 years ago, I transitioned from my self-host back to WordPress.com, and I found buried in my website, there's a feedback form.
Uh-huh.
And what I forgot was about 14 years ago, or no, about 13 years ago now, I used to cover Roblox. I didn't really do anything in depth. It was just kind of like news stuff from like the press releases that they would send me. And occasionally I did a couple of like community spotlights. And Connor today, much like Connor of 13 years ago, has a tendency to set things up and then forget about them. So I forgot that I had set up a feedback form for community maps. And when I was going through the menus for WordPress, I found the feedback box and it had about 70 or 80 Roblox suggestions going back to like 2012. Like just
You know,
all these things that people have filled out that were like, please check out please check out my Roblox map and feature it. And
so
I
you're,
saw that and I'm like, these people are probably in their 20s now. If they were teenagers back then, they're probably nearing 30.
so you're gonna go check them out, right? It'd be a disservice to not go check these things out, right?
You know, better late than never.
Exactly. I got to get you back into Minecraft
You do.
and not writing about it so you don't get abused.
I mean, I'm definitely not writing about it.
It's not really an up and coming game anymore. I mean, people who, Minecraft has its like surges every now and then. We saw like one about a year ago. And now it's at a lull, but it's fine. It'll come back. That's how Minecraft works.
Yeah. Minecraft is one of those games that no matter what the lull is, it's doing fine.
Yeah, yeah. And when I mean lull, it's like, you know, it's still selling like hotcakes. It's still selling like crazy. It still has millions of people playing it each day. It's just like the focus has been shifted off of it onto something else. Right now, it's like Oblivion. You know,
Right. Minecraft is kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5. Every time you assume that pretty much everyone in the world already owns a copy, it's still selling millions of copies.
yeah, it's still selling like 30,000 copies a day or something. It's insane. Like, um, when you were mentioning about like how it was difficult to buy Minecraft, yeah, I noticed that too because like I had tried to buy it with my credit card and just wouldn't let me. So I
Mhm.
just ended up buying the key from the store. And that was like my preferred method of like if I did buy it for somebody else, like that's how I bought it for my kid, that's how I bought it for my wife, that's how I bought it for the neighbor's kid even. Like I
Yeah.
had, we just kept buying the cards because that was just sure reliable way of getting it done.
Yeah. Because in the pre Microsoft era, it was just a shop being hosted on Notch's website. So I had to reach out to my bank and tell them I'm trying to buy this thing from Sweden. Please stop blocking the transaction.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's really good. I've gotten a lot better at building too. So I've actually um don't just build the square dirt house anymore. I've really developed my use of the palette, and there's a lot of different tools and stuff that if you really like artistic Minecraft, you can go out and find like color block. I forget what they're called, but there's like ways. There's like different artist servers that people can go into to like figure out like what they want to do.
Hmm.
It's really nice. Plus, anybody out there who likes Minecraft wants to learn how to build better, Mumbo Jumbo for Redstone and B-Dubs, B000100 if you want to learn how to build like an artist, because oh my god, he's amazing.
Okay. Have you been playing anything else?
I have been playing Sea of Thieves. Yay, of
What a
course.
shock.
I know, how shocking. I figured I'd switch it up this week and tell my Sea of Thieves tales. Um, Second now. I honestly didn't play that much Sea of Thieves, and I mostly got my insider thing done, and then played a little bit on the real server. Nothing happened. Nothing
No?
happened. No, I played with my kid, with my daughter, and that was at least a lot of fun. So we got to go through and make about 250,000 in gold. Haven't just haven't had that much player interaction lately. Um, what I can talk about, and I have to be really careful here because I was supposed to go watch a trailer before the show and I didn't. They are redoing the Reaper faction a little bit for the next season, I believe. If it's not the next season, then it's going to be season 16. They're going to be adding emissary quests to the Reapers, plus I believe they have revealed the cannon, the mobile cannon now. So they're going to have a cannon that you can place onto your boat. I don't think I can talk about how it works, but you will have the ability to like find a cannon, place it anywhere on your boat, set it up, and then shoot from it. It has disadvantages. I can say that it has its disadvantages. So it's not as overpowered as you would think, because when I first heard about this, I was like, this is going to ruin the game. You're going to be able to shoot forward, you're going to be able to shoot behind you, you're going to be able to shoot wherever you want. And I was like, this is concerning to me. But then I remembered how the game actually works. And because the game is very, I don't want to say physics based, because there's not a whole lot of like quote unquote physics going on, but there's a lot of like momentum, angles, and stuff. When you're moving while you're shooting, you have to be aiming in front of or behind the thing that you're shooting, depending on which way you're going, because when you shoot, the bullet is still traveling with the momentum of the boat. So the bullet would be traveling forward as well as outward. If you understand how, it's not like it's not a hit register game, or it's not like a client side hit register game. Like there's actual calculations going on. So if you put a cannon on the front of your boat and shoot forward while you're moving forward, it has a shorter range. If you put it on the back of your boat while you're moving forward, it has a longer range. So it makes sense in terms of real world physics of how it would work. So it's really not as big of a deal as we thought it would be. I do think it's gonna really change PvP. Not competitive PvP, but like when you're out chasing someone, it's really gonna change that. Because if you start chasing somebody and they have a cannon on their boat, you're gonna turn around. You're gonna turn away from them a lot quicker. If you are chasing somebody and you have a cannon on your boat and they don't see you, you're going to pummel the living crap out of them and kill them faster. So it's going to shorten the amount of time of player interaction, which I feel like could be a good thing, because that'll mean that you have more chances for player interaction. Because I have been chased for an hour and a half before. This is not fun. It's really not fun. It's a little bit exhilarating, but there's a point 45 minutes in where it's like they won't give up, and neither will I. But like these guys won't leave us the fuck alone, and we just want to keep hustling. They're chasing us down. They just want to kill us just to kill us. I can't stop them from wanting to just kill us. I can give them all the treasure in the world, but I can't like stop their bloodthirst. So this should minimize those interactions, which will be a lot better. So yeah. Love the game. Love it so much. Every time I'm like, there's so many times where I'm playing the game and I'm just like, I love this game. Just because I feel I like the sandbox nature of it. I love the freedom. There's times where I will just get out on my boat and just sail around, not really doing anything, just because I like sailing in the game.
Very nice.
Come play it with me. Come on.
We'll add that to the schedule next to Minecraft.
Yeah, sure. What have you been playing? What have you been playing?
I have been playing a few games. I did get around to playing the demo for the Precinct.
Oh, okay.
Which is out. And that one is very much it's not I wouldn't call it a full simulator, but it's close. The Precinct is a top-down cop game where you play as a police officer. And in the demo that I played goes down pretty much the basics. You have a car chase, a helicopter chase, and then part of the game you spend playing as a beat cop. So it goes through. I kind of like that they started out the game starts out at an 8 and then goes down to a 4 in terms of energy. Where the first day that you're working, you end up in a big shootout with a bank robbery.
Oh,
And
wow.
then the second day you go into work and they tell you you're going to be a beat cop. So like the first thing that you're doing is you have a shootout and a car chase. And that gives you the mechanics of having shootout in the car, using cover and the cover and shooting mechanics, and also the chase sequences where you're rewarded for doing well by getting access to effectively power-ups like spike traps, additional cars, and stuff like that. The beat cop section is more where it gets into police simulator, where you're assigned a beat and you have to look for cars that where like the meter is expired, cars that are up on the sidewalk, shit like that. Cars that are pointed the wrong way down the street. And then you get to interacting with the public where you find a couple of vandals and you get the tutorial on how to deal with them when they're cooperative versus when they're non-cooperative. And the game gives you a big police manual, and it has pretty much every interaction you could come across, as well as the list of instructions on what you should do. Like, if you stop a guy who's vandalizing a building, you yell at him to stop. If he cooperates, if he's not causing a fuss, you can just write him a ticket. If he is causing a fuss, you can ask for his ID. So it's not like full on. It's not full on procedural simulator, but they have a lot more in-depth elements. Like when I arrested this one guy, I had to hit a button to read him his Miranda rights, and then cuff him, lead him to my car, put him in the back seat, get in my car, drive to the police station, get out, open the door, pull him out, walk him into the building, walk him to the front desk and book him.
Wow, that's pretty in-depth.
It's pretty in-depth. It doesn't go to the extreme of like you're not filling out paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
But it is pretty in-depth. And they give you just like these kind of little various things to just give you a taste of everything in the demo. And I do want to play the full game. The full game is like $25, so it's not that bad of a price. It does have a very positive 85% rating, and there's a lot of positivity being said about the game's mechanics and just the gameplay of being in a kind of a cop simulator.
It looks really good too. It pulls off the, American City very well.
It is a good looking game. It is an homage to 80s cop movies.
Mm-hmm. And it's in like gameplay style of like GTA, so it's really nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I recommend checking out the demo for that. The demo is pretty short. It's maybe like a half an hour, but it's one of those things where it gives you a taste of everything, pretty much everything you're going to be doing in the game. Like at one point I got a dispatch and they had me in the helicopter. And the purpose of that is you have to track down the car based on its last known whereabouts and where the type of car and where it was last seen. And then you have to shine your spotlight on the car and hold it there until the cops on the ground can disable the vehicle. And then you get the more you the more you follow directions, the more points you get to throw out like cop cars and like different little kind of abilities to help you stop the bad guys. But it is fun. I enjoyed it. Now, the next game that I played, they had a free weekend for House Flipper 2.
Ah, okay.
And I played the first House Flipper. I thought that was pretty good. I played a good few hours of the House Flipper 2. It's more of the same. It's not Playway, but it's a Playway style game where it's very much it's a chore simulator.
Yeah.
You go into a house, you have a list of things to do, and with House Flipper, there's also the factor of they pull you in with the tutorial where the game has you cleaning up houses and just kind of doing stuff. But the real game opens up where you're buying houses, fixing them up and decorating them and then trying to flip them for a profit. I didn't get that far in House Flipper 2, but I mean, it's, you go into a house, you pick up garbage, you clean stuff up, you sell what the person wants you to sell, and then you just make it look good. They have a very clear part of the game that's inspired by unpacking, where it's literally when you go into the houses, there are just boxes that you're supposed to unpack. And it doesn't matter where you put the items. The game gives you complete freedom as long as it's in the room that it needs to be in. But it's very clearly the developer saw unpacking and said, we need that in our game.
I'm mixed on unpacking. I wanted
like
to
unpacking.
like it. You liked it? I liked it, and I didn't hate it, that's for sure. I'm just not sure if I liked it.
It's a game that it's hard to... The strongest emotions you can really have toward a game like unpacking are... I enjoyed the time that I had in it.
Yeah, and I agree. I did enjoy the time I had in it, but I like games with a clear set goal.
Right?
Even if there's like a million different goals, they're clear and set. This game is just like, nah, just take it out. Some stuff
Yeah,
has to
it's a just do whatever you want. Whatever you think looks good is fine with me.
Yeah, and it was like some stuff has to be in a right spot, but other stuff, as long as it's in a spot.
Yeah.
Which is like, but like then I don't have any clear defined anything to do. And it's not like Tiny Glade where it's like that's literally just like an art piece thing. No, there was objectives in this game, but they weren't clearly defined. So I didn't know what to do with it. So that's why I was like, I didn't hate it. I just don't know if I liked it.
I liked unpacking just for the little kind of story that was going on in the background.
Yeah, I like that the teddy bear would like progressively get more worn, and like you always had that same. I think it was a bear or something. Like you always had that same stuffed animal, and it would like get like men's in it and stuff. Like it was. I love the art. The art was absolutely wonderful. So like visually, I absolutely loved it.
It's definitely a game. I think I enjoyed it more because I played it in very, very small doses over the course of like, I think maybe a week, where if you binge it from start to finish in the few hours that it takes to finish it, you'll come out of it thinking like, what the hell did I do? Whereas I would come home from work, I'd play a level, and then shelve it.
Yeah, see, and that's the way that I did play it. Was I was like, I'm gonna beat this thing, and then I was like, what the heck? I'm just unpacking. I thought that there was like a different kind of goal to it. I went in with a different idea of it, and that's why I think I do agree with you that me just binging it I didn't really get the full experience because it's a game about somebody's life, about
Yeah.
how they've had to move, and about how that's, a thing. So
It definitely goes. It shows that you need to play the game with the right frame of mind.
yeah,
Like instead of playing the game to specifically to beat it or to um, fill an objective, you need to go into it with the idea of I have this stuff and I'm just going to. The goal is to decorate the room in the way that I think looks good. And that's why I think for how small the game is, it's definitely best played in small doses.
but I think that would be a good addition to House Flipper too. The fact that
Hmm.
you just have stuff that you can just unpack for the house and make it look nice.
Yeah.
It's a good mechanic, I think. So adding unpacking's mechanic into House Flipper 2, I think that's good. I think that I'm glad that worked.
Yeah. It's also a little diversion from keeping the game from being exactly the same as it was in House Flipper 1.
Yeah, because
Um,
otherwise it's just going to be more houses in different locations rather than new mechanics and like new stuff to do.
yeah.
You know.
I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I will enjoy playing the free weekend as long as that's going on.
Okay.
It's up for another day, so it'll be done by the time anyone hears this podcast. Now, the third game that I played, and I'm about a third of the way through it, is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Ooh.
And I'm playing that on my Xbox because I cannot play it on my computer. Because it is incompatible with my computer, because my computer does not have ray tracing compatible. My computer graphics card is not ray tracing compatible, and you cannot launch Doom: The Dark Ages without ray tracing turned on. It is mandatory.
I don't know if I should give my actual opinion on this.
Of course you should.
I'll get a lot of hate because I think that this is fine. Um, you can you can be had a ray tracing graphics card these days. Granted, you can get a used one for about $200.
I can't. I have a gaming laptop.
You do have a gaming laptop, so you are more restricted than most. But most people are not on laptops. Most people who are gaming on a desktop, and they would have the ability to um, upgrade most things. Ray tracing is a technology that we've seen for 8 years now. Hold on, let me find out. The 2080 came out in 2018.
Oh boy.
So, um, we've had ray tracing capable graphics cards for 7 years. I don't want to be that girl, but things change. Computers get faster. They add more shit. They do more things. Um, 15 years ago, you would be hard pressed to find a processor with SSE3 encoding, which allows you to do streaming, recording, editing, most a lot of that stuff. It just wasn't built into processors. I know the very first processor that I ever had was a Celeron D. Literally couldn't do that. Like it could you could like do a webcam and stuff, but you couldn't like record from that webcam to like with that processor, or it just couldn't do a lot of things that like modern day stuff can do. Nowadays, everybody has that built into their processor. Nobody knows what the heck it is because like your computer just does it. Um, yeah, it sucks. It sucks for everybody who has older hardware. It would be great if they did allow an option for that, but there was a point where when I was playing World of Warcraft, and I wanted the higher texture setting, But you needed a dual core graphic, or you needed a dual core processor in order to access that, and I only had a single core. To be on a single core processor now would be insane. Would be literal insanity. Would be like, hey, I got to get on the internet. It'll take me, 20 or 30 minutes. So the idea that that this game requires ray tracing, we're gonna see more of it. I'm okay with it. Um, Connor, you do need to upgrade.
I'm well aware of that.
No offense, babe, but I'll help you build it. Um, yeah, I think I think this is gonna get me a little hate because yeah, it'd be great if games use the same technology all the time, but that's also the reason why we're not on DX8 anymore. Why we're on DX12, DX11 and 12, because we need newer and better things to have newer and better games. I haven't seen Doom, the new Doom for myself. I would like to take a look at it, and because I do have a ray tracing capable graphics card, I've actually got a pretty bitchin' computer, so my computer would probably run it pretty well. And I hope it looks good. I hope it is good.
I like it. I'm liking it
How
so
does it
far.
play on Xbox?
It runs great.
Okay.
Doom. So what I will say is that Doom: The Dark Ages is the best Hexen sequel we could have hoped for. Because it's not really Doom, but it is very Hexen.
I never played Hexen.
Okay. And I feel like it's a very weird direction for them to go in, especially after Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, because the reboot trilogy to me kind of feels like it feels like them releasing the last Skywalker after the last two movies, because you were either a big fan, it seems like people were either you kind of fall into this camp of you like Doom 2016 and you're not a fan of Doom Eternal, or you like Doom 2016 and you really like Doom Eternal, because they're very different games mechanically. Personally, I really like Doom 2016. I hated Doom Eternal. Because Doom 2016 was very heavily weapon focused, very shooty. And Doom Eternal, they took that system and turned it into effectively an intricate dance where you had to be constantly moving, you had to know which weapons to use on which enemies, you were constantly balancing low health, low armor, and low ammunition, and you had to kind of work the battleground like an instrument, or the game was just completely frustrating. Now, with Doom: The Dark Ages, they've made it very weapon focused. It's a lot more freeform in how you can take down enemies, and it leads to a lot of the weapons, in my opinion, being useless, because you'll kind of hyper focus in on one or just a small handful of weapons that you really like to use. And it's also weird to me because they've put in a lot of story in Doom: The Dark Ages. And it kind of reminds me of the shift from Pitch Black to Chronicles of Riddick, where they tried to take an action story that had very little lore in it, that was very clearly not written with that lore in mind, and just shove a ton of story in. So there's a lot of cutscenes. There's a whole overarching plot of the Doom guy being controlled by these aliens, and it has the endless war with the demons. You have the fact that the Doom guy just wants nothing more than to kill demons by the millions. But there's just this weird plot going on with characters that we've never met before, that will never be relevant in the series again because we've already seen Doom and Doom Eternal and they're not there. But it's this weird conflict that's going on. And I like that Doom 2016 made a joke of that, where the game tries to constantly exposit a story to you, and the character just doesn't give a shit. Whereas in Doom Eternal, there's so many cutscenes and so much expositing of like, the demons are attacking the city, deploy the Slayer, and then also you have these characters that are they just appear and we're kind of supposed to know who they are and why they're important. And it'd be kind of like getting into Lord of the Rings in The Return of the King. It feels like entering into Lord of the Rings in The Return of the King, and then you're like, well, who's that guy? Why is he important? What am I supposed to know what that artifact is and what it does? Who's that bad guy? Why is it so important that they're sacking this city? Why do they need to defend this spot? Why is this important? How am I supposed to know what's going on?
Breath of the Wild was a little bit like that to me.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, but that they did explain a lot of that stuff through flashbacks.
Fair, yeah, but like, I don't know, because like I kind of felt like in Breath of the Wild, like Link is like known by all of these characters in the game,
Mhm.
and they're all like, yeah, cool, and like it's like, yeah, you know them because your character knows them, but you haven't really been introduced to them yet.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I'm gonna bring it up again, the Tech War series. Where the book throws all of the sci-fi jargon at the reader and then doesn't explain any of it because the characters already know what's going on because they live in that world.
Yeah.
I need to play through Breath of the Wild again. I never finished it. I had about 85 hours in that game.
It's worth finishing it. The ending's good.
But yeah, that is Doom: The Dark Ages. There's a lot of. I really like the upgrade system. So you get gold, and then you can spend that on weapon upgrades. I have a shield that you get all of these crazy weapons. Like you get there's a machine gun that shoots. It's a really for crowd control of smaller enemies, but it's the skull gun where it crunches up skulls and then shoots the shrapnel. There's another gun that it's a plasma gun that you're supposed to use on enemies with energy shields. There's enemies with metal shields that you like shoot the shields to heat them up, and then you throw your shield at them, and then it causes the shield to explode.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
when you do that, it also gives you shield back.
That's cool.
And the game, it weirdly feels, there's parts of it that weirdly feel like Shadows of Mordor, because you come across named enemies that have powers. Like there's leader enemies that will continuously spawn. They will empower the creatures around them, and they will endlessly spawn them until you take them out. There's specific enemies, leader type enemies, where you have to kill all their minions before their shield drops. And they're just like specialized, and every time you kill them, you get a buff. So like increased health, increased armor, increased weapon ammo capacity. And
There's
and
one.
they're always introduced with a like Shadow of Mordor kind of like name.
There is one thing I am noticing on the Steam page I kind of want to draw attention to.
Yeah.
Premium edition, $100.
Oh yeah.
Holy balls!
Yeah, the digital deluxe edition. The crazy thing is that it has. I mean, it has DLC. I've personally never seen the value of a digital art book. Given 99% of the time that stuff pops up on the internet anyway, I'd rather have a physical art book.
Oh, physical art books are always worth it. I have one from Armored Core, and I love it. Oh my god, I got one from StarCraft too as well. But that's the
But
thing I can actually.
there is DLC, there is expansion content coming out.
Is that going to be included in the premium edition, or is that going to be?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So the extra additional cost already covers all the future stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Um, oh, the premium edition. Okay, that does include the base game. Apparently, I mean, I kind of have hope because from what people have told me, Doom Eternal got a lot better in the DLC content, the DLC story stuff.
Okay.
There is also a mod that I have been told about for Doom Eternal that lets you. It rebalances the ammo and it rebalances a bunch of the stuff to make it closer to Doom 2016.
Okay.
And apparently that makes it much more enjoyable as a game.
Because I played 2016 and I fucking loved it. You're hard pressed to find somebody who didn't like that one.
I
never
love Doom
played.
2016.
I never played Doom Eternal.
I've played part of it. I got really frustrated with it.
So how do you think the Dark Ages would be for somebody like me who loved the hell out of 2016?
I
But
think you
not.
would like it.
Okay, good.
And also it is on Game Pass.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can play it without spending, $70 on it.
Yeah, because there's a PC version of that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PC Game Pass is like $10 a month.
I might have to look into that because I do
Sure.
want to play this one. And $10 a month's a lot more affordable than $70. Do you get the premium edition with Game Pass?
No.
Okay.
No, you just get the base edition. They use Game Pass to get people into the ecosystem. So when you are on Game Pass, you do get discounts on DLC and stuff.
Fair. Okay.
But yeah, Doom the Dark Ages. I am enjoying it. I'm playing it on normal and I haven't died in combat at all. So if you're looking for a more challenging experience, I would bump up the difficulty. The good news is that they have a lot of sliders for difficulty.
Oh, good.
So you can move some things up, keep some things down, like parry window times. They do the Cuphead approach. Some of the boss fights feel like Cuphead, where you have enemies throwing out projectiles, and then there's the one in the bunch that's green, and you know that's the one that you parry back.
Oh, okay.
But I do love that. I like the upgrades. I have an upgrade for my shotgun that the more you hit someone with the shotgun for bigger enemies, after you hit them a couple of times, it sets them on fire. And then when you do more damage to them, they spit out armor. So like you can get in close. It gives you an incentive to get in close with the shotgun with an enemy that would normally be a bullet sponge because you can heal yourself while you're fighting them. But I'm liking it. There's one weapon in the game that is a ball on a chain, and you just charge it up and just shoot it at enemies.
Oh, that's cool.
Somehow it uses ammunition. I'm not sure how that works.
We don't think about these things.
But also you can very easily get back ammunition because you just do a regular melee kill on. You can even get ammunition by. You don't have to kill an enemy with melee. You just have to hit them with melee, and they just kind of shoot ammunition off of them. And it's all very generic ammunition, so you're not like looking for heavy, medium, small bullets, rockets, and stuff.
Okay.
The only specialized ammunition is for your power fist.
It all sounds really like very well thought out,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks it looks really good.
The worst thing I will say about Doom: The Dark Ages is that the soundtrack is a steep step down from Doom 2016. They
What's
no
it?
longer have a single composer. They had a team that worked on it, and it is just generic metal.
That's sad.
They'll never recreate that moment from Doom 2016 when you're riding up the elevator in the opening sequence and the music is just like blaring in the background, and then the Doom guy just takes the shotgun and clicks it right in time with the music. But yeah, it is interesting. I've been watching the cutscenes and I have no clue what's going on. I don't think that there's anything much more in depth going on than kill the bad guys, but like you get transported to all these different battlegrounds, and there's just characters talking about shit I don't care about. Um, there is a part of the game where you do get the Doom guy has a mount. It's like this cyber demon flying thing, and you're flying around the giant battlefield and shooting down airships and then going into the airship and then killing everyone inside. There's another sequence where you're in a giant mech fighting giant demons, and it's ridiculously easy because everything is giant, everything is moving very slowly. So your window to dodge is just gigantic. And then you just punch them in the face. It's fun. It's not it's definitely not a game to take too seriously.
Well, it's Doom. You never want to take Doom seriously.
Right. And again, if you liked Doom Eternal, if you really liked Doom Eternal and you wanted more of that, you're going to be severely disappointed. And like I said, if you're a fan of Hexen, this is exactly what you would want out of a game. There are a lot of the game is meant to be replayed, where every level that you go through it gives you a list of the percentage that you completed it, and after every level you're taken back to a hub, and you can freely go back to the prior levels to go and find all the collectibles and stuff that you missed.
I like that about games when they do that. Yeah, it seems like it's doing everything right. It's got 8,500 reviews, 86% positive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doing well. It's doing real well.
Yeah. There's nothing particularly that the game does badly in my mind outside of the soundtrack being underwhelming. It doesn't have the it doesn't have the impact that Doom 2016 did.
Okay.
Because Doom 2016 had a lot of great moments in it. Whereas this one is like, okay, we're in the third movie in the third game in the series, and it almost feels like they're just kind of making it for the sake of making it.
That sounds kind of sad, but I don't really mind that sometimes.
Mhm. It felt like it almost feels like it started out as something else, and then they turned it into Doom. 'Cause the outside of the fact that it's, like, tangentially related, everything in the nothing in the cutscenes feels like Doom. Because it's set a very long time before the events of Doom 2016. So it's like on a completely different world with factions that, as far as I remember, do not appear in Doom 2016. Like nobody, the whole idea of the analogy of like corporations harvesting hell isn't there, and it's just this really weird like medieval but also futuristic war. It's just weird. It feels like they shoved the Doom guy in at the last second. Like there's all of the stuff going on that has nothing to do with the Doom guy, and then at the last second in the cutscene they're like, deploy the Doomslayer. But other than that, it almost feels like you could have replaced the Doomslayer with just anyone else, and it would not have affected the story at all, or what like, yeah.
You're giving the modders ideas. I need a Thomas the Tank Engine mod right away.
Oh, I'm sure someone's working on that. I don't know how moddable the id Tech engine is. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say about Doom: The Dark Ages.
It sounds good. Anything else this week?
Nope. So let's talk about some video games. I got a few things on my list that are coming out, or actually one of them has come out. The first one that I want to talk about is actually a trilogy. They're releasing enhanced editions of the Stalker games
Ooh,
this
okay.
week. Shadows of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call of Pripyat. And the enhanced editions include upgraded visuals, God rays, dynamic screen reflections, global illumination. They upgraded the skyboxes, the water shaders, uh, upgraded field of view and models, bug fixes and quality of life tweaks, and gamepad support. And it's coming for all three in the trilogy. And to my understanding, they're actually coming to PlayStation Plus for subscribers.
Ooh, okay, good.
I have no idea what I don't know what the cost is going to be for them, or if they're going to give out any kind of discount for people who already own the game.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to find anything because the old game is obfuscating. But it's
Right.
coming out on May 20th.
Yep. It's coming out May 20th, and I believe um, they said something about the. Oh, here we go. Stalker Legends of the Zone Trilogy Enhanced Edition is being delivered as a free product for all existing owners of the Stalker. Oh, for Stalker Legends of the Zone collection on consoles. So people on PC are probably going to have to pay for the enhanced editions.
Ah, okay.
Granted, those things have been, I mean, those versions have been down to like $1 on Steam, so if you want the enhanced edition, I think you should, pay for it. Whereas the console versions only came out maybe a couple years ago. Now, the next game that I want to talk about is called Night Grip. This one is on This one is available already. The developer is Lucas Carrera. And Night Grip is a game where you play in a lighthouse. You're managing a lighthouse. More specifically, your boss is in the lighthouse with you, and he challenges you at the end of every day to rounds of arm wrestling. So it's a game where you're arm wrestling your boss, and there's some kind of it's listed as a psychological horror that unfolds as you play it. There's a lot of mystery, and of course, it's an indie horror game, so the game takes place over 5 days, or dare I say, 5 nights. But it is $3. And as anyone who has seen the podcast knows, I have a horrible addiction to PS1 aesthetic psychological horror games.
I've got a game here that I've looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
It's called Poco.
Poco.
Poco. So it's a point and click adventure game. I love point and click adventure games. There's like they make me feel like a little girl again. So you play the world's smallest clown who's been banished from the circus, and you have to explore the area. Like the art style is what gives me. I usually like these games usually bring me in by the art style, and I just love point and click adventure games because they're so simple, and I love the logic of them, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You have those, Monkey Island is what comes to mind when we're thinking about like wonderful point and click adventure games. I need to actually play the actual Monkey Island games, but like I did the Monkey Island on Sea of Thieves, and it was basically just like playing through a point and click adventure game in first person. And I love these games. I've always loved them since I was a kid. And it's free to play.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Poco.
everybody should go out and play it. Play it, yeah. Poco.
How do you spell that?
Poco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's coming out on May 20th.
Ooh, very nice. The world's saddest clown.
Smallest clown.
Smallest clown.
Yeah. You're like
Oh, that does look like the old MS-DOS era point and click adventure games.
yeah, but there's 3D elements to it too because your clown actually moves around. Poco actually moves around on the thing rather than being drawn that way. It's
Right.
because usually these games are done with a lot of hand drawn animation. This is a mix of both of that, of 2D and 3D animation. So it's a new, fresher style of it. It looks really, really good.
Okay. Now, I have one more game. The game is called Deliver at All Costs.
Ooh.
It is a chaotic delivery game that is very much steeped in destruction physics and chaos. It's a game where you're a delivery guy, and you're tasked with delivering all of these crazy things and like blowing up the scenery, causing pandemonium, and it's just a very ridiculous game. It reminds me of the era of titles like Destroy All Humans. But it is the goal of the game is to deliver things and to deliver them at all costs. So you're driving trucks and like driving vehicles and just trying to get from point A to point B while all of this crazy stuff is happening around you. But it's a very heavily stylized game.
Holy cow, this looks fun. Especially because like I saw a guy like the truck is driving through a fence and each one of the fence boards like flies off in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks so fun.
Yep,
I've never like
you can do all kinds of crazy things.
those games you look and you're getting giddy of like, oh my god, this looks like a
Right.
plan.
And there is a demo.
I'm downloading it right now.
So that'll be something to play. The full game comes out on May 22nd. It's going to be $30 when it comes out. But there is a demo available right now that you can play.
May 22nd. That's my birthday. Ha!
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Patreon.com/MMO Fallout.
Right? I'm turning 40, everybody. Make it happen.
But that is. Do you have anything else to talk about for games?
No, not in terms of releases.
Okay.
There's a little news I want to talk about.
So I have a few news stories to talk about. The first one is the Nintendo Switch 2 final tech specs and system reservations have been confirmed. They're very selective about the details, but the Nintendo Switch 2 has an ARM Cortex A7 8C CPU.
ARM. Not ARM.
ARM.
It's called an ARM processor, not ARM.
That's how you spell it, though.
Yeah, but it's an ARM processor.
Don't actually me. There's a lot of technical stuff for nerds.
Yeah, and I'd love it. It
It
looks
has
great.
Yeah.
From what I can tell from it, this thing's gonna be great.
I hope so.
Like,
So the
obviously, like the PS5, the Series X is gonna be more powerful, but goddamn, you're gonna have like a 1060 in your hands. It's gonna be as powerful as like a GTX 1060, maybe even like a 2060, and just like handheld in a tablet, effectively.
yeah, a rather small tablet.
I mean, this is a very capable machine. I'm not like joking. I saw the tech specs of this thing and I was like, holy crap, it's got 9 gigs of RAM available for games. Like, whereas this original Switch only has 3.
Yep. The memory bandwidth is 102 gigabytes per second, docked versus 25 for the Switch 1.
Yeah.
The memory is 128-bit. It has 1,500 cores.
Yeah, 1500 CUDA cores versus the 256 on the original Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So the original Switch was a repurposed. They took the same chip from the NVIDIA Shield tablet. It's the chip is referred to as the Tegra X1. Nintendo got it and basically just put it right into the Switch 1. Then, after about a year, Nintendo did what Nintendo does, and we saw the Switch V2 come out, which was the same processor, twice the battery life, which is in terms of technical specs, that is magic. That is some kind of crazy magic that like only Nintendo could achieve. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but like the fact that they did that they took a decent chip and then made it literally twice as power efficient is really, really good. And now they've had that chip for 10 years. They have upgraded that chip because it's the Tegra X1, but it's now souped the hell up. And like I'm really, really excited for this thing because like you had mentioned, the memory interface is 128-bit versus the NVIDIA versus the Switch 1, which was 64-bit. It's literally pushing twice the data in the same amount of time. So, or it has the capability of pushing twice as much data in the same amount of time. That's what that means. So this is going to be, I really feel like this is going to be like better than a PS4 handheld. So I'm really, really excited for it. I can't wait to see like how good the games are gonna look. Because the games on the Switch already look good. Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting because what they're gonna do with it is they're going to um increase the clock speed, the GPU clock speed on the while it's or no, sorry, they're increasing the CPU clock speed while it's mobile and decreasing the GPU clock speed. So that when it's docked, it increases the GPU clock speed but decreases the CPU. This is really interesting. This is done to prolong battery life because the GPU is going to eat up more power than the CPU. But if the CPU can then supply it's a really, really interesting, neat balancing act that they're doing here. That if you know about technical specs and power efficiency and that sort of thing, it's really, really cool because they're treating it kind of like a laptop while it's undocked, and then more like a desktop while it's docked. I'm boiling it down here. So anybody who is like, "Nuh-uh, she's wrong," it's like I'm being I'm boiling it down and being very general here. So, but you can probably hear it. I'm very excited for this thing.
You can tell which one of us has more hardware knowledge than the other one does. I'm
Really?
I'm over here like 8x is more than 4x.
Really? I wouldn't be able to tell. I couldn't tell. I thought you knew this. But yeah, but literally we're getting like twice the processor. We're getting like 3 times the graphics card, if not more. That CUDA core count is impressive. Like for a handheld, basically for a tablet. I don't want to like, say that being a tablet's a bad thing, but basically for being a tablet, 1500 CUDA cores? Holy crap. That's good. That's a lot.
I did get an email from Nintendo that was like, hey, just wanted to let you know you're still in queue to get the Switch 2, so you don't have to do anything. Because I think just people were getting antsy who had signed up for Nintendo's own ordering and just still haven't heard anything. I mean, I've been subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online since month 1, and I've heard from a lot of other people who have been subscribed since the start and still haven't gotten anything about pre-ordering through Nintendo.
So just to give a little comparison, this thing has 30 less. No, wait, no, it's a 1660. It's a 1660 Ti. Holy crap, it has the exact same number of shading units as a 1660 Ti. So this thing's going to be a 1660 Ti in your hands. That's oh my god, I'm more excited now. It'll have some type of its own ray tracing too. Like it'll have like baby ray tracing. It'll look really, really nice, but like having a GTX 1660 in your hands. Oh my god. I'm very excited because the 1660 is better than my old 980s. It's a pretty like it before they stopped making it, it was the best graphics card that didn't have ray tracing on it. So that's interesting. I'm very happy about this.
Are you happy about paying $80 for first-party Nintendo games, though?
If they're good, I'll do it. Yeah. As long as I am guaranteed $80 worth of game, yeah.
Okay. June 6th, I think the Switch 2 comes out.
Oh wow, it's coming up quick.
It's coming up quick.
I did not know that thing had the same CUDA core count as a 1660. Anyway, sorry.
So, speaking of Nintendo, Nintendo this week sent a cease and desist to a group who had set up a dating app.
Okay.
Specifically a dating app for Smash players. And the dating app was called Smash Together. and it advertised itself as a dating app for fans of Smash Bros. And Nintendo sent them a cease and desist over their use of copyright and trademark in their advertising of Nintendo properties.
Interesting.
And I think that they really missed an opportunity. I want to see the grinder version of Smash Together that's just called Smash Bros. Now, I feel like there's a way that they could have gone about it. It seems like something that's really stupid because there are so many ways that you could implicitly make your dating service saying like for fans of a Nintendo property without using Nintendo licenses. Like the logo that they used for Smash Together looks very similar. It's the Smash Bros logo.
Oh, it's not even like, because I thought you meant like looks similar, as in like it's vaguely
No, it's
similar.
straight up the Smash Bros logo but cropped.
You can't do that.
Especially when you're talking about Nintendo.
Yeah, you can't do that.
The app was announced last year, and the best part about it is the fun that the news stories are having with it. So, Eurogamer wrote their piece, and the author wrote, "Sadly, this means let's just get this out of the way. Mario fans will no longer be able to lay pipe. Solid Snake lovers will no longer live up to their name, and you won't be able to browse King Dedede's D."
Well done. Very well done.
Now, I don't know where you'll go to specifically find singles who have not showered in the last 10 years now that the Smash Bros app is no longer available.
Not to be insulting, but how many women are actually playing Smash Brothers?
I have a feeling it's going to be like the Smash Together app would be like the crypto dating app or the NFT. No, there was an NFT dating app that shut down because there were no women signed up for it.
It'd be like walking through a hallway of hot dogs.
Right. Like I said, it would pretty much have to be a gay dating app.
Yeah.
The Smash app is by virtue of existence the grinder of Smash dating apps.
There's just this is just a calamity all around, isn't it? Because they could have like done this in a way that like didn't violate Nintendo's IP. I'm not really even sure like who this would be for. How many really? Because like, of course, men would want to get on this. You know, men are always looking to try to not be lonely, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But again, how many women are actually signing up for this? How many women Smash Bros. How many women out there that are playing Smash Brothers that are like, I have a really hard time finding a date.
I'm guessing not many.
Is it just me and my ignorance? But if we have a girl that's out there playing games and she's like, I play video games, dudes are swarming that. Nerd guys are swarming that. Obviously, like, your normies are like, okay, she plays video games, whatever. But, like, it's I don't know what to say. I think I know what
Right.
you think. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't think girls who play video games have a hard time finding nerd boyfriends.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, they got a cease and desist. To give you an idea of how Nintendo probably could have just done nothing. According to the developers, they had a whole 400 pre-registrations.
Ooh. Nationwide, huh?
Oh yeah. So I honestly don't think this app was going anywhere in the first place.
I think Nintendo just had to do it out of like trademark stuff.
Yeah. Nintendo did it because Nintendo is militant about their trademark protection.
Yeah.
But also this thing would have disappeared.
Yeah, fair.
Because let's be fair. If you're dating, I can't think of many people who are that touch starved that they're going to say, okay, let's see who's available on the Smash Bros app.
I've tried Tinder. I've tried Plenty of Fish. You know what?
Tried
We're gonna go.
Grindr, tried Ashley Madison,
Yeah.
just can't find the one that's right for me. I need someone who's going to shout yippee during sex.
There you go.
And I need someone who's going to last shorter than the Superstar jingle. And again, who hasn't showered in the last like 5 months. But yeah, Smash Bros. That's fun. I do have some Fortnite stuff to talk about.
Ooh. Okay.
Because Fortnite is fighting an endless battle against trolls because of something weird that they decided to put in the game. So Fortnite this season has been doing the Star Wars. They've added in like General Grievous, Mace Windu, Darth Vader, Leia, characters, lightsabers, weapons. The season goes until June, I think like June 7th. But what they decided to do was they added in Darth Vader. And Darth Vader is a boss in the game. And if you beat Darth Vader, he would train you in the ways of the Force, and you would get his lightsaber and the ability to Force push. Now, if you defeat Vader, you can recruit him and talk to him, and he uses AI to talk back to you. They AI-ified James Earl Jones's voice, and he talks back to you. Now, I should point out before I continue that James Earl Jones explicitly gave his permission to have his voice run through AI so that it could exist after he died. So this isn't a case of them exploiting a dead actor, because he was all in on this.
Okay, that's at least that at least qualms that on me. Okay.
Right. But what people have been doing is they've been breaking the protections that Epic has put in place, because Fortnite is a rated teen game. So they've been getting Darth Vader to say fuck. Despite Epic's best interests, they've been getting Vader to say fuck. They got him to say a couple of slurs, as one does. They've gotten him to say very interesting things. He has said, for instance, that Spanish is the language of spice traders and smugglers. He has made several comments, some of which are not that great. A lot of people tricking him into swearing and saying bad words. Someone got him to make a tier listing of his favorite races. And yeah. So Epic's done several patches to the game since Vader was introduced to rein in the things that he is allowed to say. But people continue posting clips from the game, because it's voice chat. So like you can talk to him, and it transcribes what you say, feeds it to the AI, and then he responds to you like he's just a person on your team. And I feel like this is a way of Epic experimenting with AI companions. But yeah, people have gotten James Earl Jones to say fuck, and it's hilarious.
I think that is pretty funny.
And the fun with it is just to see how you can break the safety restrictions that they've put in place.
I don't want him to give me a recipe for chocolate chip cookies.
You probably could.
Because if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something silly and something like not offensive, but something like
Right.
something absolutely crazy, like getting Darth Vader to like, Darth Vader, how do I make brownies?
But yeah, it's all fun. I do have one more news piece to talk about, and it's something that you'll be fairly familiar with. And it is just to say that Valve hasn't actually been hacked. There were reports last week that there was a data breach on Steam, and a bunch of people, like a bunch of passwords and multi-factor stuff got leaked. It turns out, thanks to some an initial statement to some group called the Sentinels of the Store,
Oh, I've never heard of them.
that this had nothing to do with Valve themselves. Valve are investigating where the leak happened, but it wasn't actually a security breach of Steam systems. And if you're just a normal Steam user, you don't have to change your password. Although if you are a Steam user and you don't have multi-factor authentication, you need it.
Yeah, put on your 2FA, everybody.
Yeah, it has to do with old text messages being leaked with two-factor authentication codes, which is meaningless because those codes only last about 15 minutes. So by the time those codes were exposed to the public, they were long since useless.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of people reporting, and a lot of discords that I was in, throwing people into a panic, saying that Steam has been breached, change your password, change your password.
Yeah, I saw the same thing in a couple of them.
But yeah, it's nothing like a good old panic.
Yeah, because Mello had reported on somebody else saying this happened, and then it got reported that Mello was the source for this.
Yep.
And he was like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Mello is rarely the source for things. He's not to say that he isn't sometimes. He has, Mello does journalism sometimes. But
Right.
a lot of the time we're just like reporting things that we have heard ourselves. Not that we've made developments on these things. Like,
Right.
We're very much a, hey, have you heard? Not, hey, I did this thing,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, nothing massive to be concerned about.
Yeah, so false alarm, everybody. If you feel the need to change your Steam password, it can't hurt you. Go ahead and do it. But there
If
shouldn't
you
be.
haven't changed it in a while, you probably should. Or if you're sharing passwords with something else, you definitely should.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, if you have multi-factor authentication on a secure device, then you're pretty much good. Because the big thing now with hacking is session hijacking, where they steal your authentication and use that to get into your account.
Also, everybody, don't use words, don't use like phrases or something. Just use random letters, numbers, characters in random orders. Just pick random things. That's going to be the best password for you.
Yep.
10 characters, everybody. Not 8, 10.
Now, Hannah,
Yes,
we will not be here next week
we won't.
because we'll be visiting Valve.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, it's topic segue. So we will both be in Washington with the Sentinels of the Store group.
Yeah, now we gotta go answer for that thing that just happened. No, I'm just playing.
Now we have to go and confront them in person over that Steam breach.
Yeah.
And lay siege to the office buildings. And also figure out where Gabe hides his collection of knives.
We need those.
Hopefully I'll remember went to render the episode for public consumption before we leave later on this week. Otherwise, this episode isn't getting uploaded until next week.
Yeah, fair. Oh well.
But on that note, you can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/MMO Fallout, where subscribers get access to the game or to the podcast early on usually Mondays, and everyone else gets it on either Wednesdays or Thursdays. You can find the both of us in the Sentinels of the Store Discord, where we're usually shit posting and posting memes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No events coming up this week, but do you have anything planned?
No, nothing this week because we got the trip going. Plus, it just kind of worked out to, we usually take a break every week. This past event wasn't very good. Nobody showed up, but it's okay. We're gonna pick different games and go at it again in about 2 weeks.
Cool. So I guess on that note, we will hit the outro music, and we will see everyone later.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Mwah.
That's your dog bite. It's in me. It's in me. That's your